Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 66 of the Stateside Report UK. I'm your host, Stateside Gab. Oh, OKC. Oh, the Spurs. BTA. Oh, who better to ask than Mr. OKC, Mr. Ass. Big game for the Gunners, by the way, today as well.
Big game.
Humph. First of all, how are you feeling? Because Christmas time, Merry Christmas to you, by the way, and the people, you know. New Year's
There's
is
nothing
around the
merry
corner.
about that Christmas, I'll tell you that. There's nothing merry about that Christmas. Good God.
Hey, Happy New Year's as well for the people that are listening as well. This will be our New Year's, episode
Release.
before the New Year turns around. Not been a great period for your boys, though, has it?
I mean, we're still leading the West. You know what I mean? So I can't complain too much. It's just when you face one team and they beat you 3 times in 3 different locations over the space of 2 weeks.
Oh.
It's not the best feeling. You know what I
And
mean?
it's not the best
It leaves a
feeling.
bit of a sour taste in your mouth. Even if
Yes,
you
because you have to imagine the last time we was even recording, we was talking about OKC, regular season record, 73-9, check your mirrors, watch your shoulders. And now, bruv, it's not that chat, it's all out the window,
We needed to check our mirrors and check our shoulders.
Whoa, that boy Wemby is coming, We've spoken about it in the past, but yeah, Christmas time, he said, this is my time to show out with my boys. And he did that. So credit has to go where credit is due. Not to you boys. Haha.
Hey, I mean, all credit to them. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, those 3 guards in Fox, Castle, and Harper, it causes a lot of problems. Like I said, last line of defense in Wemby as well, bro. If you're not making consistent jump shots, you're gonna have to face Wemby in the paint, and he's swatting everything. Whether it's Chet, J-Dub, Shea was the only constant in terms of anything good that we did, which is why I always kept banging on the door of him being an MVP for this team. I was hearing stories about this Thunder team is a 55-win team or close to that without Shea on the team. I don't ever want OKC to lose, but I wanted people to see that this team is not heavily flawed, but it's flawed in ways where Shea covers up a lot of our deficiencies, and
Well, like
obviously
the
you
team,
saw
the
those
team is human.
deficiencies. Exactly. You saw a lot of those deficiencies in high profile games in all 3 games against San Antonio. So when I say Shea covers a lot of our mistakes, and he is our offense, he is everything that we do well. That's what I'm saying. That's the league MVP, and obviously with Jokic's injury, which we're going to touch on, we might be looking at back-to-back league MVP if he stays injury free.
Well, how about we, get along to it? Before we do, let's go through some of the news lines doing the rants in the NBA at the minute. Luka Doncic and Giannis Antetokounmpo are current leaders as of time of recording of All-Star East and West, respectively. Doc Rivers has passed George Karl in 6th place for the all-time NBA coaching's wins. So the amount of wins that a coach has, you know what I mean. And Jose Alvarado and Mark Williams have both been suspended after throwing punches in the Suns, 115-108 win over the Pelicans. Just quick reaction to, some of these. Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I guess that sounds about right in regards to, 2 popular guys, East and West. I can't remember if they're doing the captains thing now. I think they're going to do like a USA versus World thing, similar to what they did last
That's what
year.
I was hearing.
In regards
They
to
change it every year anyway.
yeah, they're
It's hard
trying
to
to
keep
find
up
some
with.
consistency with it. But, does that sound about right? I guess is the question I have for you in regards to Luka and Giannis being the leaders in both conferences as, the most popular vote getters.
It really is all about what the kids call it, motion. You ask more motion. Do you know what I mean? So it's like Luka's barely played, Giannis has barely played as well. I won't say they've both played some of the best basketball so far this season, but if you've got the fans on your side, I think Luka before the trade or just after the trade to the Lakers, he was leading the league in most jersey sales, I want to say. So it's like, if you have that sort of motion going for you as well, that you can, when it comes to, these fan votes and all-star votes, he's more likely going to be at the top. And obviously with Giannis as well, which to be fair, there's some talk we can touch on Giannis another time, but he does also have, fans voting that 34 Milwaukee jersey that is a popular jersey as well. So that all ties into it when it comes to these all-star votes and stuff like that. I'm not surprised when you see Luka and Giannis there. Surprised. To be fair, I thought LeBron would be in and around the top. I think it was like 9th in voting.
LeBron ain't
Shea
nowhere
6th in
near it.
voting as well. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oof.
Ain't nowhere near it, by the way.
Hey, Shout out LeBron, man. Happy birthday, King.
Oh yeah, man. Word. Do you know what's crazy as well? Something in me, yeah. No word of a lie. I was hungry last night, and something in me said, "Throw something on the grill, man. Throw a little steak on there. Put something on the barbie."
Man,
Then
let me
come to
slip on the
see, it's
Barbie,
LeBron's
man.
birthday. Yeah, man. It makes sense, bruv.
Age 41. Good
Yeah, Fez,
God.
man. He just came up on my screen as well. Fez, man. Fez. Don't
He's
like
up
what it
there.
did to my don't like what it did to my Kings the other night, but it's all right. It's all good. It's fine. Um,
Same.
Doc Rivers. There's a listen to me. Stateside top in regards to Doc Rivers, just because I feel like I know where you're going with this, right? But credit, we said it earlier, and we're saying it again. Credit where credit is due. Doc Rivers has been a coach in this league for a long time. Has coached
Right.
some great players, great teams, and because of that, all-time, coaching wins, 6th place. That's not too shabby, if you ask me. I understand that the Bucks are faltering these days in life, but I guess the question I have for you is Doc Rivers as an all-time coach. If we put his career in in one little bubble and look at it, how are you looking at it?
I mean, as you've known me for a long time. You know I'm a perennial hater. Do you know what I mean? If I could hate, I'd do that to the best of my ability. But over here, like when we talk about longevity and when we talk about accolades, like what I was talking about with the James Harden and top 10 scoring and stuff like that, it's hard to do that in the NBA. Do you know what I mean? We give these players, these coaches, their flowers, and with Doc Rivers as well, I think he deserved them. No matter how you want to view him as, most losses and 3-1, all of that stuff, winning in the NBA is not easy. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason why when he's out of a job in one situation, all of a sudden he gets another job because that's no matter what, like I said, no matter what you think, that's a quality coach. Do you know what I mean? He's won an NBA championship as well, which most coaches can't say that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like Sif in the all-time wins as a coach. Do you know what I mean? A lot of players wanted to play for him. A lot of players always have good things to say about Doc as well. Great basketball mind. Obviously played in the league as well. So, and his son even played in the league. So he knows basketball well. Do you know what I mean? He's been in and around basketball. There's a lot of players, a lot of people that succeeded in and around him in the game of basketball. So when you're seeing a record like this, you're not surprised because that's a great coach right there.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he was gonna give him the credit. I didn't.
Hey, we give coaches, we give people
Yeah,
flowers here sometimes. You might
yeah.
have you might have caught me on the right side of the bed this time around. Do you know what I
I
mean?
think
So
so. I think so. That could be due to some Arsenal thoughts, things that you need to project out in the air right now.
hey,
But
it's the
hey,
nerves and the jitters, man. Do you know what I
eh,
mean?
what you talk about nice about good old Doc. Fair play,
Hey,
because you're not wrong when what you said. By the way, you're not wrong.
hey, I mean, I know a thing or two, but
Eh.
literally though, like I'm saying, bro, all these wins in as a coach, winning the championship as well, it legitimizes everything that you do, even if you don't win a championship, but still.
Oh, 100%. There's some good coaches in this league that haven't won. Like Mike D'Antoni's the first one that spring to mind in regards to, revolutionary offenses. Coach some really good teams, historic teams, MVPs as well. No jewelry on his finger. So there's a lot of people that would love to have the career that Doc Rivers has. It's had its lows, but it's also had its extreme highs as well, which, again, like I said, some coaches that are considered all-time coaches just don't have in regards to Doc Rivers. So fair play. And I like to think that he'll keep adding on to that. Maybe get even higher on the list by season's end. You never know. And just this fighting in the NBA. What's going on? I thought NBA players were soft. I thought they didn't want to throw punches. I thought they didn't want to fight. But when I saw what Jose Alvarado, that little two-piece combo extra crispy that he put on Mark Williams, I said, you know what?
This
Hey. Do you know what I mean, though? He really
hey,
connected as well. I saw Jordan Poole in the background, by the way. He said, oh, uh-oh.
flashbacks.
Yeah, Doc. He said, I wish it were me that was here, but I'm here. It is what it is now. And
Facts.
there's no question, there's no reaction, but hey, fighting in the NBA, don't see it every day, Stateside. I just wanted to get a reaction to it, that's all.
It's like Christmas came early. Do you know what I mean? I'm not an advocate for like fighting and stuff in the NBA
Me, I'm a
or just in
pacifist.
general. But if someone's testing your gangster, you might have to, like I said, a little show them that you're here, even if you're considerably shorter than them, bro. If someone's gets on the wrong side of you, you gotta
Put
show them
hands
something.
on
Go
them.
game for it though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
NBA are not shy from taking that money out of your pocket. They're giving you a lot of money to begin with, so they find every little opportunity. So if you hit someone with a little two-piece combo, that's coming out of your bank account. But you better, if you know that you're gonna get fined, you better leave quality shots. You better make sure those shots are worth.
If I do say so myself, though, like I said, Jose, yeah, he got his money's worth, man.
Facts,
He
you
got
have
his
to.
money's worth. You
You
know,
have to. If you know
I
you're gonna get fined, like pushing and shoving, all that stuff gets you fined. Why not
just
close the face off too? Why not?
go out swinging that. You know, you
Do you
see,
know what I mean?
remember this was going back like over a year ago now. But I remember we did who would win the Squid Game, and I said Jose Alvarado. You thought I was playing?
Right,
I
right,
wasn't playing, brother.
right.
That man is there for the cause.
Isn't
He's
he from
down
New
for
York
it
as well,
all.
though?
Hmm?
Is he from New York?
Ooh,
Alvarado. I want to say he's from New York.
good question.
Yeah,
Good
you know,
question.
Dominican Republic guys, they're always from like New York sides and that.
Yeah, you know,
So
and
you
it
know
wouldn't
he's
surprise
about it.
me. By the
Do you know
way,
what I mean? He's about it when it's time to scrap. He will
he's
try and
from Brooklyn, New York.
bruv.
Yeah,
The
man.
British side, Bed-Stuy, New York, bruv. Bruv.
There's
They don't play.
Fairs, man. You know, Fairs.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, I didn't have a question off the back of it. I just wanted to know, you know, fighting in the NBA is fun. You know, I remember when Amen Thompson's absolutely swang Tyler Hero to the
Versus
bloody
Hero.
ground. Oh, didn't need to do him like that,
Thompson
by the way.
twice as
But you know,
well. They're gonna come up in conversation just in a bit as well.
naturally as well. But how about we get into you know, NBA chat today? And obviously, you mentioned it towards the top of this show. Jokic. Unfortunately, he's going to be missing some time for the Denver Nuggets. Looks like a lower leg fracture. Fracture? What was the word?
Hyperextended knee.
There we go. There we go. Lower leg extension. Yes, that means he's going to miss at least a month's worth of action for the Nuggets. And it's easy to say, you know, Denver are going to struggle now. 100%. Of course they are. You know, they're missing the best player in the world, the person that makes the offense go, the person that puts bums in seats in Denver. You know, this is not a small injury to have as well. A month's worth of time is a lot of games, especially in the NBA. But I'm going to look at it from a different lens, I think, because I think now there's room and there's going to be expectations, responsibility that's going to be shared out in this roster now, and it's going to be a case of we need to see what a lot of these guys are made of, even the likes of Jamal Murray, who's even up there in regards to all-stars in the Western Conference. Okay, Jokic is not here now, and we've given you praise before in regards to good playoff performer, you know, clutch, good second option. Now you need to probably be bumped up to the first option. Let's see what you really have in the chamber, you know. So people like him, and I believe Cam Johnson is injured at the minute as well. I don't believe he's playing too much for them right now. But people like Jamal Murray, especially, Stateside, you can let me know if I'm wrong. But now let's really see what this roster is made of. I know Jokic was there to elevate a lot of these guys, but he's not there no more. And we still got to get wins. We still need to make sure our seeding is nice and high. So come playoff time, we get a nicer matchup. So I'm not looking at it more as, you know, Denver's finished, Denver's going to struggle. I'm looking at it as like, no. If you want to keep the standards up, responsibility's got to be shared. And especially with Jamal Murray, you've got to step up now.
100%. I mean, everything you said is right there. It's very unlucky, obviously, how it happened. It was such a freak injury. I think it was one of his teammates actually, was setting off to run back the other way and stepped on like his foot or his ankle or something, and it just hyperextended his knee.
Yeah, unfortunate.
It's definitely going to test the Nuggets, as you mentioned. It's going to affect their offense. I mean, Jokic is their offense. Do you know what I mean? So they will. Not only is it gonna test Jamal Murray, is gonna test their coach as well. How, you know, what different schemes are we gonna run? How would our team look without Jokic in it? Are you gonna bring in Valanciunas and try and kind of play him in the Jokic role? Are you gonna, you know, play everything through him to still have that 2-man game? Then you'd be asking a lot from Valanciunas, because same body type but just completely different skill set, completely different players. Do you know what I mean? So there are a lot of questions are going to be asked in terms of how the Nuggets will look, in terms of the coaching, in terms of obviously Jamal Murray being bumped up to the first option. Will that help or be a detriment to his All-Star case as well? You know, with Jamal Murray without Jokic, how is he going to perform? Is the team going to be considerably worse? Or will they be not better, but will they, like you said, keep the Nuggets above water to keep them at a solid level to when Jokic comes back, and then obviously you can keep going again. So a lot of questions will be asked in that front. But well, when I say excited, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what the Nuggets will look like.
You see what you did there? Do you know what we used to call that? I studied religious studies and philosophy. for A level. And what you did there was classic Freudian slip. It essentially means that even though you didn't mean to say it, it's what you're
Right.
thinking, really. You know, you look at the Western Conference standings, where the Denver Nuggets, they're third place, few games behind the OKC Thunder. You
Right.
know, you look at their roster at the moment, Christian Brown, injured. Aaron Gordon, injured. Cameron Johnson, injured. Now Jokic is on the injury list as well. So you're looking at it, and we're putting it, glass half full. Yeah, Jamal Murray, Peyton Watson, Julius Strawther, Valanciunas. You've got to step up now, and let's see what you're really made of. But in reality, probably what is going to happen is they're going to drop a few games. They are.
They will.
And if they are, still a little bit banged up, especially to their key players, to Jokic especially, of course, by the time, playoff time comes, they've fallen down low enough. People like you, people like the Spurs, people like the Lakers, they're going to be looking at Denver like, oh, it's kind of sweet now. Do you know what I mean? Because that's going to be the like I said, the reality if Jokic and a lot of his key teammates unfortunately hobble into the playoffs a little bit nicked.
I mean, injuries haven't been kind to the Nuggets this season. I'm not going to lie to you. As obviously, with my team being a competitor of the Nuggets, I do feel sorry for them in terms of their injury issues. Obviously, everyone gets banged up, everyone gets injured. But if Jokic is getting injured when he never gets injured, Jokic since he's been league MVP, since
Always been a
been one
healthy
of
boy.
if not the best, he's always been available. Do you know what I mean? And he keeps his body in good enough shape where he can play every single game or as many games as he can. Do you know what I mean? But then, like I said, this injury is such a freak injury. He was playing all of the games. He just wasn't setting out. So in that sense, you worry as a Denver Nugget fan. But then it's December. Do you know what I mean? There's still a lot of basketball left to play. They will win enough games before Jokic comes back, before Aaron Gordon comes back, Cam Johnson, all of these guys come back, where they'll be in a respectable spot in the West. Where I feel like they'll think, as long as we have everyone fit and available, it doesn't matter who we face outside of OKC. Do you know what I mean? So if they finish fourth, fifth, they won't mind facing the Lakers in the first round, the Timberwolves in the first round, the Rockets, San Antonio. They won't mind facing them as long as you have a fully fit Jokic. Like I said, it's still December. There's still a lot of basketball left to play because he's not having this injury in like what March, April. At that time, then you might want to hit the emergency button a little bit. But it's December. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of basketball left to play. You just hope Jokic comes back 100% healthy. At the time he's coming back, Aaron Gordon's coming back as well. Cam Johnson's coming back. You get more of your weapons back, and then you can keep going on from there. It's a lot. It's a lot of basketball left to play. Like I said, you just hope you don't rush anyone back where you could further, you know, hurt their chances of recovering from the injury.
You said it perfectly there in regards to let's see what happens with the Denver Nuggets and the injury issues. Just because, as I said, there's going to be teams, your team, people around them as well. That's going to be looking at the Denver Nuggets now. It's going to be like, okay, let's see what their players are on, and let's see if they can sustain any sort of level. There is going to be a drop off because Jokic is not there. But can't lie, they can't really afford it. I'm not going to lie to you. So let's see what they can do to at least make it easier. Maybe trades happen. Maybe people step up. I don't know. But we'll see. I did want to speak to you about. I've put it here on our rundown. Draymond Green versus Steve Kerr.
Right.
Is it that per se? Probably not. But me, stateside half, I'm a bit of an overreactor.
That's what we do here, man. We overreact.
Yeah, overreactions coming up later on. By the way, stay tuned.
Right.
You saw it, to be fair, because it kind of was Draymond versus Steve Kerr a few games ago when Draymond got sat for the whole fourth quarter. I can't remember who they played now, but him and Steve Kerr having a bit of riffraff on the bench. Draymond went to the locker room. Steve Kerr said, "There's no way you're getting back in the game now because you're violating." And I remember their post-game comments, they were very different to each other because Steve Kerr was quite reluctant in regards to what happened. He wanted to keep it in-house. Draymond was kind of like, basketball things happened, I was frustrated. I just took myself away from the situation and we move on. Well, they haven't necessarily moved on because a lot has now come out in regards to Steve Kerr doesn't want Draymond to, guard big men and centers because that's a lot on what his body is and his defensive ability is. At this age, at least he thinks he can use his defensive capabilities to do other things than just guard big men all the time. He was also talking about floor spacing as well. That's why people like Quinton Post has been getting a little bit more run just because he's a little bit more of a shooter at the 5 and obviously has the size to guard bigs. And Draymond has been quite outspoken, as you know, by himself. He has obviously had the podcast, and he says just as like playing around this time of the year. Obviously, he's trying to prep for the playoffs. Warriors are 15-15 right now. The last time I checked. If I look at the Western Conference standings now, oh, they're 17-16, so they're one game above 500. Great, fantastic. But Stateside Humph, when it comes to Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, all of this drama that's happening, I guess where I'm leading to this is there a little bit of writing on the wall? Where you've been thinking maybe Draymond's going to be this warrior for life, who's going to be a part of this dynasty until the wheels are falling off. However, as we've spoken about a lot of times this year, these guys don't look like contention or look like they're in contention unless they make some serious moves. And if they're willing to stick with what they have, or, they just can't make any moves for whatever reason, is the writing on the wall for Draymond Green in Golden State?
I mean, this question has always been, on everyone's lips for a long time now. Do you know what I mean? With Draymond and Golden State, it's like every time we talk about players like your Draymond, we always say the whole thing. Oh, he's, you know, only a certain team can take on a player like Draymond. Do you know what I mean? And he's done so many things. Whether it's stamping on Sabonis's chest or kicking this person in the nuts, or basically getting Durant out of Golden State. I mean, he's done so many things where you could think this might be the last time for Draymond. We're definitely getting him out. But then the talent that he possesses, his connection and his chemistry with Curry. I even forgot about Jordan Poole as well. You know what I mean? So many things that he's done, but he's still there. I mean, he's still there. And I feel like if the Warriors want to win, I don't think they can afford to get rid of a Draymond. But then you also talk about the relationship with him and Steve Kerr, and it's like when we spoke about Steve Kerr in the off season, coming into the season, how I talk about how it's not easy coaching these type of teams. A lot of people say, "Oh, I feel like you could get a better coach in that could help Curry improve and this and other." But then you don't talk about managing, these superstar players, managing players with these sort of temperament and stuff. Most managers or most coaches will not want to coach a player like Draymond Green because of the baggage, because of his personality. It's not easy, but then you can see over the years, Steve Kerr's almost made it look easy. You know what I mean? He's almost known when to get in on Draymond, or just let Draymond be Draymond and just kind of saw it out from then. So it's like that friction is always gonna be there. But in terms of the Warriors as a whole, I think they do still need certain pieces, because when I watch certain Warriors games, it's either Curry or bust. And he's 36, 37. There's only so much of that type of basketball you can play. Do you know what I mean? He is going to have his injuries as well. So, and Jimmy Butler that they've brought him in, he hasn't necessarily moved the needle like they thought that he was going to. But in terms of the relationship with Steve Kerr and Draymond Green, it's not something that I haven't seen before. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of the Warriors as a whole, they will have to make some sort of acquisitions and draft, and well, trades anyway. I don't know what their trade stuff is looking like, but they definitely need some certain players and like a shooter playmaker type to pair with um, Steph Curry,
Mm.
in order to improve that team. But as of right now, where they are is exactly where I expected them to be at this stage of the season. This season,
Fair enough. They still they're going through this Kuminga thing similar to how they did last year in regards to he's not getting a lot of run, he's not getting a lot of trust in
mm.
this Warriors offense. When the argument is that if you're struggling and you have this level of talent just sitting there, give him a bit of run and let's see what he can do. What do you also make of what Steve Kerr was saying in regards to let's take a lot of this stress away from Draymond, just in regards to him having to guard big men a lot, because he's had to do that pretty much all of his career. But it's
Right?
easy to forget. I can't remember how old he is. I want to say he's like 37, 36, something
Yeah,
like that.
he's up there. Draymond's
So
old.
to ask him to, at least if that was what he was asked to do at the beginning of the season, be Draymond, guard big men, guard guards, do what you need to do. To do that at his age, it is a lot. And also to bring in people like your Quinn and Post as well to give you a little bit of shooting, more shooting in the lineup, take Draymond out because of the lack of a jump shot that he has over there. Do you, I guess, like what Steve Kerr is, I guess, quote unquote, trying to do in scaling back his role?
I think as the years has gone by, as we mentioned with his age, he won't be as durable as he once was. Do you know what I mean? Injuries and like those little niggling injuries are going to be a thing. But I feel like you want to manage a player like Draymond's minutes closer to going into March, April. may be dependent, obviously, if they win a playoff series or two. But with the stage Draymond and Curry are in, that's why I feel it's imperative to build the bench, to build the others, to for them to carry the heavy load in the regular season, and then come playoff time, Curry's getting the ball, Draymond's getting the ball. He can then guard 1 to 5 because he feels more refreshed. But if he's guarding 1 to 5 and he's expending a lot of energy and he's using a lot of his 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 body, banging down low with your Jokic and these other bigs in the league, is going to be tasking on his body coming into the playoffs. He just won't be the same player. You just won't get the same best Draymond Green out of him. So I definitely will explore that option of scaling back his minutes, reducing his role a little bit, giving more minutes to a quit and post. But then obviously, if you're quit and post, when you're coming in, you have to play at the level as well, because there's a level that's expected of you when you play for Golden State.
Yes, exactly. So Golden State is always interesting just because, they're trying their best to get Curry, another championship, another ring on the resume so we can have another conversation of, his all-time standing, ranking, whatever you want to call it. But if they don't buck up their ideas, as I've said before in the past, then Warriors ain't doing a thing. So we're going to see moving forward and keep a close eye on what's happening at Golden State. Just to round up our Western Conference conversation, did you see Kawhi? You know what he done? Your aunt still got something in them legs. Do you know what I mean? They're better than bruised, but 55, double nickel. It's not bad. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? It's very simple for me, Stateside. Have people forgotten a little bit about the claw?
I did. I did think he had it in him. Not gonna lie to you. I did not think he had 55 in him. But then again, he played the Rockets a couple days ago and gave a man 41 points. And it's like, nah, that's not enough. Where's the other twin? Bring him in. Yeah, I mean, let me give him 55. Do you know what I mean? And Asar and Amen Thompson are known to be some of the best perimeter defenders in the league.
Yes.
And he's dropped what, 96 points on both of them in a space of a week.
Wow.
So it's like you said, the old dog still has a bit of life in him yet. Do you know what I mean? With buck knees and just injuries left, right, and center, he's still putting up these sort of numbers. But then it just speaks to the level of these players nowadays, because back in the day, bro, I don't know if I don't know if these players are giving you 55 on the efficient shooting like Kawhi's doing. Mid post, 3-point shot in the paint.
Yep.
He gave the whole
whole
he gave
bag.
you the whole bag.
Yep.
Defensively as well, I think he had like 5 steals.
Yep.
In one of the games as well. So it's like, bro, Kawhi still has it. It's unfortunate with the Clippers that they're nowhere near the playoffs. I don't know if he can round off enough of these performances, pairing with James Harden. Obviously, he's come back from injury as well. Can they resurrect the Clippers season, or are they gonna mess around and give OKC the #1 pick? All roads leads back to Sam Presti.
Don't
Shout out
remind
Kawhi
me.
anyway.
Don't remind me of that. All I know is that the Clippers are 4 games out of the play-in or the last
4.
play-in spot. 4 games behind the Portland Trail Blazers, Utah Jazz, Dallas Mavericks are the only teams that are in front of them. Hey, I've seen miracles happen in this league. I remember there was a year where in the Eastern Conference where Miami were dead last in the East and found a way to make the 8 seed. One day it was with Hassan Whiteside, Dion Waiters, a few others as well. I've seen miracles happen
Right.
in this league. 4 games, especially in the Western Conference. Oh, that could go like that.
Right.
Good teams, some good teams ahead of them. I'm not gonna lie, the Blazers and the Mavs specifically, but I won't lose hope just because I think experience is on this side. Kawhi looks like he's hitting his stride, and knock on wood, if he can stay healthy, then I back them, especially all the teams in front of them. I think the teams in front of them are quite young, to me, in regards to making a real playoff push.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, obviously, even though Kawhi is capable of putting up performances like this, can he stay on the court? Do you know what I mean? Can they keep him fit and healthy? Can they manage his minutes in a way that he can still give you that production and the team can still keep winning to then obviously create that miracle as you talk about? But just talking about those 2 performances alone, 55 points against the Pistons and 41 against the Rockets. That's big stuff.
Big stuff indeed. Speaking of, by the way, I thought of a nice little game that we can play and run in and around this 55-point career high from Kawhi Leonard. Shall we play a game, Stateside?
Let's play a game. Let's do it.
Let's do it. This is with our good friends at ChatGPT. for the assistance of this. I might have to double check these because ChatGPT can be a bit skanky sometimes. Essentially, all I'm gonna do, Stateside, I'm gonna give you 2 players at a time, and you have to tell me whose career high is higher. It's simple as that. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for the people?
Let's do it. Let's do
Right.
it.
So, it's just quite a simple game. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna give you the first few now. Whose career high is higher? LeBron James or Jason Tatum?
I know LeBron had like 61 or 62 against the Bobcats. I think it was. Jason Tatum couldn't have. Give me LeBron.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Jason Tatum, 60 points. LeBron James, 61 points.
61.
Yeah, big dog. Don't worry. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
it was.
He's ahead of yours. Yes. Whose career high is higher? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Nikola Jokic?
Jokic.
Oh,
Shay's is 55 or thereabouts. Jokic had a 60-point triple double last year. The game Westbrook, bro. Westbrook single-handedly ruined a 60-point triple double. Yeah, give me Jokic on that one.
final answer.
Final answer.
Yeah, you're correct. Jokic, 61 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 54. Surprised me that, by the way. Surprised me.
Man, we don't need all those points, man. Give us more chips.
I like your thinking. I like your thinking.
I'm not gonna have the points.
Battle of the teammates. Whose career high is higher? Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle?
I want to go with Julius Randle.
Final answer.
I'm not sure, but I feel like it's like a trick question. So give me Julius Randle.
Yeah, trick question. They're both good scorers in their own right.
They are.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, 53. Julius Randle, 57.
57.
57 with the Knicks.
Who against?
Yeah, 57 with the Knicks against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Poetic.
Crazy.
Look at that. Oh, it all comes full circle, doesn't it? All comes full circle.
3-3.
You're 3-3 right now. You're doing all right.
Can't leave me open.
Do you know what I mean? Let me just double check this next one because I'm pretty sure that ChatGPT might have got their wires crossed. And this one, just bear with me, Stateside Hump. Let me just make sure. Yeah, here we go. Whose career high is higher? Victor Wembanyama or Jamal Murray?
I would say Jamal Murray.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Victor Wembanyama, 50 points.
50.
Jamal Murray, 55 points.
Was that in the bubble?
Jamal's career high was in 2025 against the Portland Trailblazers.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, because he did. Because then, what's his name? Aaron Gordon had like 50 start of the season as well. Yeah, so that's what 4-4.
4-4. You know me. You know us. We like to try to do Michael Jordan over here. So you got 2 more, matey. Can you go 6 for 6? I don't know.
Round of the year.
I don't know. All right, here we go. Whose career high is higher? Malik Monk or Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves did have, I think he had like 50 points this season. But then I'm sure Malik Monk's had. Give me Malik Monk. Why not?
Final answer.
Final answer.
Malik Monk, 45 points. Austin Reeves, 51. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Malik Monk's scored 50 points somewhere.
For his 45 points, by the way, was in a double overtime win versus the Clippers. Well, Austin Reeves did it this past season, by the way. I believe he won in overtime, by the way. 51 versus my Sacramento Kings.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, matey. You know, like I said, can you beat Tim Duncan? Like
We'll
I
get him
ain't
next.
being.
We'll get him next year, man.
That's what they all say. That's what they all say. What's going on? I don't really like the names that ChatGPT I've given here, so I'm gonna give you one off the top of the domski. Hold on there, matey. Wait there. Whose career high is higher? Oh, whose career high is higher? Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker?
Um,
These are high, by the way.
I
These
know.
are high.
I'm gonna go with Devin Booker because he had 73 against Boston in his rookie year. I want to say, or year after that.
Final answer.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell would have scored more than. Yeah, give me Devin Booker.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Donovan Mitchell, 71 points. Devin
Yeah,
Booker,
73.
70.
What?
70 versus the Celtics.
Oh, 70. Fact check that.
Yes, I'm fact checking it on Google,
Seven
matey.
zero.
March 24th, 2017 versus the Boston Celtics. 70 points. Devin Booker,
What?
Donovan Mitchell, 71 points. 2023 versus the Chicago Bulls. Matey.
1 second.
Oh, bro, can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
Can't believe it.
It was
Yes.
70.
It was 70. I remember he was holding up the picture. They made him hold up the picture. 70.
What? Was that 70?
Yeah, matey. Yeah.
Wow.
70.
I thought it was like an odd 70 number. It was 70 bang on the dot.
On the nose, matey.
You hate it. Wow. Fair enough.
71 is good going now. And they won as well, I believe.
That's not bad. Hey, that's a good game. But
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, man.
I stand corrected.
There you go. You know, Michael Jordan, you will never be. But, you know, that's all right. It's okay. You know? Shout out to Kawhi. He was the inspiration of that thinking. Because 55 for Kawhi, by the way, is, you know, if you're hearing some of the career highs there, 55 is there's a lot of buckets. Don't get me wrong, but like, you know, I'm hearing 70, I'm hearing 60. You know, surprises me.
Facts.
How about we go to another person who has been scoring, by the way. I don't know where his career high is. I'll check it out now. But Jaylen Brown, he's been hooping as of recently for the Boston Celtics. He just tied 50 points is Jaylen Brown's career high. Which is not too shabby, if I do say so myself. He just matched Larry Bird's 30-point streak, I should say, 9 games in a row. And Stateside, I remember earlier in the season, me and you have spoken about the Celtics in not very high regard. I didn't think they were very good to start the year. I thought they were actually quite bad. But if I look at the Eastern Conference standings now, it seems like their whole season has done a 180. They're third in the East, 19-12 on the standings as well. And I'm looking at things and I'm like, my tune is kind of the same in regards to their roster is still not where it needs to be. A few more trades here and there. However, you know, we said it earlier in the episode, that might be the title of this episode, credit where credit is due. The Celtics, they're finding ways to turn it around and I'm not angry at it.
They've surprised me a lot because obviously start of the season we're talking about them possibly facing like a Detroit in the first round with the Celtics being the 8th seed. But then also questions about Jaylen Brown with Tatum being out. Can you lead the Celtics team with all the changes that's happened? You know, Tatum out and everything as well. How can you perform? How can you galvanize this group? How can you give this team great production and pair it with winning as well? And you can tell from the start of the season, he's done it very well. They were always going to start off slow because you know all these changes, but he's surprised me a lot. He's been a lot better than I expected. Like you're seeing a lot of poise in his game. He's not as rash. I don't know. Maybe it's the heightened level of responsibility that he knows he has on his shoulders, so he isn't as erratic. That he's being more careful with the ball in possession. You know what I mean? Whether driving left, driving right, finishing at the free throw line, his mid range is automatic. I think he leads the league in mid range shots as well made. When you've got players like Shea, Jokic, and Devin Booker, and these guys in the league. Defensively as well, obviously he plays both sides of the ball. There's now talks of him being in the MVP discussion. There's talks of him being. Someone mentioned something about Jaylen Brown possibly replacing Luka in the first All NBA first team, even though Luka's averaging 35, 9 and 9. But that just speaks to the level of how well Jaylen Brown has been playing. But like I said, his production is paired with the level of like the Boston Celtics winning, and they're playing a good brand of basketball as well. So I'm pleasantly surprised. If I'm a Boston fan as well, I'm very happy with where the team's playing at, or where the team's at, and where Jalen Brown's playing at right now.
A lot of credit, I think, has to go to the coaching staff as well. We were very
Right.
hard on Missoula to begin the season in regards to, look, Tatum's not here. Let's see what you're on, because yes, the roster is now depleted quite a bit. Yes, you're missing quite a few players, and you don't really still have a big man as well. But they're finding ways, to still play their brand of basketball with the additions that they've added and lost. And, it's starting to lead to wins now that they started to figure it out. So I'm very impressed in regards to what Joe Mazzulla has been, putting on tape and has been showing fans as well. They've given them really something to get behind, which is very difficult to do, especially when a star like Tatum goes away, who still said he wants to play this season, by the way. They better bloody not. They better bloody not. But another question for another day. Um,
Right.
I guess the question I have for you in this moment is Missoula, in your eyes, he probably already was in that, upper levels in regards to coaches in the NBA today. But if they continue what they're doing right now, and if they could even potentially get higher, it's not impossible for them to, number two seed, number one seed. How high, of a level, or how much, as the kids say, aura has John Mazzulla got around him in terms of him being one of the elite head coaches in the league?
Well, I mean, with this whole Tatum injury coming to play, it's like what we were talking about Jokic, but obviously on a much bigger scale.
Mm.
This Tatum injury created a lot of questions, not only for Jalen Brown, but also for Joe Mazzulla as well. With all the changes that's happening, like I'm saying, how are you going to change the schemes to just focus on Jalen Brown being the number one option? Do you know what I mean? How are you still going to get wins without your best player on the court? And it just seems that everything is running smoothly. Players that were sitting on the edge of the bench. What's the guy with alopecia with the bald head?
Um, Jordan Walsh.
Him. You're
I
bringing
like him, by the way.
players. That's what I'm saying. You're bringing players that have been sitting at the edge of the bench, and you're bringing them in, and you're getting good production from them as well. Speaks to the good level of coaching, that you're putting out there as well, night and night out. So most of the questions that were being asked at the start of the season looks like they're being answered in a good way. Obviously, there's still a lot of basketball left to play, and in the postseasons where you're obviously being fully judged, but so far so good. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, if I'm a Boston fan, I'll be pleasantly surprised with what is being shown to me night and night out by Boston. So all you have to do is just tip your cap off to Jalen Brown and also Joe Mazzulla. They put on a good show for Boston so far.
So far is definitely the key word in there. I mentioned the Pistons in regards to how well they're doing, how can they be caught. Like I said, it's 100% possible that a team can catch them, like the Knicks, who have been flying as of recently, especially after winning, the cup over the Spurs, 23-9. But the Pistons are 24-8. They're going really good right now. Second best record in the whole of the NBA, but for some reason, Stateside of, and it's not for no reason. It's just because they're that good, and people think that they could probably get a little bit better. But their team is in all these trade talks in regards to, let's put somebody else in there just to make sure that if they meet some of the elite teams, the Knicks, get to the finals, OKC, whoever it is, that they're 100% ready to face whatever challenge that they have. I've seen, Laurie Markkinen. I've seen a few of the Cavs players as well. I've seen others linked with a move to Detroit, given the right pieces that they have in regards to draft capital and younger players that they have on the roster as well. Jaden Ivey. I don't know about Thompson Twin. That's going a bit far, if I'm honest. But Ron Holland, whatever. What side of the fence do you sit in regards to, should the Pistons look to make a trade with how well it's going so far? Should they look to maybe upgrade a certain position, or with how well it's going, hold pat, let's see what we can do with the guys that we have here? What side of the fence do you sit on?
I always be on the latter side of the fence where I'll just say let's just hold fire. We're playing really good basketball. You know what I mean? We're almost exceeding our expectation from the start of the season. Being first in the East, playing the brand of basketball that we're playing, whereas is giving us a lot of wins. And obviously, as an OKC fan as well, there's no way I'm not going to be on that side of the fence when we've done the same thing. We've rebuilt really well. We've traded well. Do you know what I mean? And we haven't made any drastic changes in terms of, I know, bringing in a Giannis or another superstar to pair with Shea. We've held fire on those type of big swings, and just made little tweaks here and there, as the Detroit Pistons made as well, coming into the season, and you're seeing them bear the fruits of their labor at the start of the season. So I would say don't upset the chemistry that's going on. Don't upset the vibe that's going on. The brand of basketball that you've desperately wanted to cement with, obviously winning basketball paired to it as well. You just don't want to make such big swings, such big changes that could potentially upset that, and that's just something Detroit fans just wouldn't want. I mean, you've lost a lot anyway to begin with, so just whatever you're doing now, just keep doing what you're doing, and just obviously put the responsibility on Cade and those other guys to try and dig you out of it once playoff comes around.
That's fair enough, I think. But just in regards to the experience, which, as you can't buy it. Unfortunately, you either have it or you don't.
Right.
There's not a lot in regards to what is in this roster. So like I'm looking at, I even looking at the star players like Cade, Jalen Duran, the Thompson twin. Tobias Harris has got a lot of experience, so he's going to help. Duncan Robinson has experience going to the finals with the Heat as well and going far in the playoffs. But outside of them lot, there's not a lot that's in there. So there's going to be that argument that even if it's not, a major Giannis type swing, you still probably need to get some sort of experience, more experience in the door. That's going to be obviously uh, competing for a starting spot somewhere in there. People are going to argue, well, if you don't have a lot of experience, then when you come up against, you've made that argument, the Celtics and other teams that have that, then that's where the Pistons unfortunately are going to just go to the wayside. So there's going to be people that say, yeah, stick what we have is nice and all that, but that just screams first round, second round exit. Well, I like to think the Pistons are aiming for more than that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do hear it. I do hear that, but I just wouldn't want them to make too many changes like that. I just wouldn't. And the experience side of things, if you're talking about them playing New York last year, a team that went to the conference finals, even though New York beat them in six, it was very close all the way around. Yes, they lost every single home game they played, but still, they gave the Knicks a really good fight. And I think that experience last year was very valuable in terms of carrying that onto the season and the big games they're going to play in the regular season, and also coming into the playoffs as well. I would have thought that they'd be comfortable in the way that they like to play. That I don't think experience would be too much of a factor, depending on how far obviously they get in the playoffs. If they get to the conference finals, for example, or the finals, whatever. But I don't think experience would be too much of a detriment to them when they get into the playoffs.
Fair, fair enough, fair enough. As you know me, I'm a big Pistons fan. So
No, of
anything they
course.
do, I'm gonna be there for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna be front and present because that was me last year. That was me this year as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. That is fair. And I've been keeping a close eye on them. To be fair, one of my boys gave me his league pass link, and
Fairs.
I've been watching a lot of basketball. It's like, last 5 minutes of the game. It's like, oh, Pistons down five or Pistons up five.
Mm.
You watch the last 5 minutes and then I'll flip it on. And I do that from like most teams and that as well.
Yeah, but you
So
have to. You have to see what teams are doing in close situations because when it actually means
exactly.
something, you have an idea of, oh, they handled this situation well this time. Oh, they handled this not well the next
That's what
time.
I'm saying.
You have to
Who's
get a
these
feel.
playing well in clutch situations, like, what sets it, all of that stuff. So I definitely keep an eye on the Pistons a lot.
Mm, fair enough. Someone that I hope you've been keeping tabs on and eyes on, Ben Simmons. Stateside Humph. I've been vocal in the past, emphasis on the past, in regards to I believed that there was hope for Ben Simmons if he went to the correct contending team because his size, versatility, especially on the defensive end, I thought could be valuable in regards to some situations for a contending team. Well, from what I saw, he's a pro fisherman now. He fishes. You don't play
That's what I'm
basketball.
saying.
He fishes. He catches big fish for a living now. Um, but a recent interview, I don't know if it was with the Athletic, but that's where I saw. That's where I saw it. He has said that, hey lads, the jump shot has been looking smooth. I'm as healthy as I've ever been. And, there's been teams, especially in the East, that I've been in contact with in the past in the off season and that. Obviously, I've had to put that aside because of my mental health and I wanted to be a fisherman. But, stateside up, I'm just saying, is there future for Ben Simmons? I just need to know the temperature.
Bro, I believe it when I see it. Do you know what I mean? With players like Ben Simmons, I'll never give him that grace because I feel like a lot of grace was given to them, and they just felt like they almost spat in the face of not only the fans but like the teams that gave him that sort of grace, that sort of hope that you might turn it around, and they just didn't. So
Mm.
I'm not gonna sit here and give Ben Simmons the grace. No way, because I seen this video on TikTok the other day. This guy was talking about how a player like Andre Drummond, how he's changed his game. All of a sudden, he's a stretch big. All of a sudden, he's shooting
Yes, I
threes.
saw him sparking it against New York.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a respectable 3 point shooter, and how he's been willing to change his game or willing to elevate his game and adapt his game. But when you're seeing players like Ben Simmons, who's out of the league because they weren't willing to adapt their game. Do you know what I mean? They were willing to just stick to that one thing, which just the league just passed them by.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? There's only so much you can use your physical capabilities to get you by, but if you're not in trend with where the league is going, you get left behind. And it looks like he's been left behind because he can sit there and say, "Oh, the jump shot's looking good, this and the other." I will believe it when I see it with these two eyes. And it's been very disappointing with Ben Simmons because I really liked Ben Simmons when he played. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, that physical capability, running up and down the court, playmaking in the open court, even in the half court as well, seeing over the defense at the height of what 6'10".
Mm.
The guy, the talent that he came into the league with was ridiculous. But I always sat there and questioned his character, questioned his love for the game of basketball. And when as a fan, if you have those questions, that's when you know that player is not trending in the right direction at all. So I'll believe it when I see it, and I don't know what team's actually gonna bite the bullet and give him that chance, that opportunity again. But if they do, show me something. Show me something different. And when you introduce me to a vibe, you better maintain it. Do you know, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I hear it, I understand, and you've said it perfectly there, to be honest with you. It's all tongue in cheek when I say, is there future, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't see it. But I'm, of course, a man for second chances. So if there's a way that Ben Simmons finds himself into a really good situation, it will be because the team have full faith in his capabilities, whatever he has left, that he will give his 100% to that opportunity. Because if he doesn't, I'm very sorry to say, if we see Ben Simmons return and he finds a way to mess that up, that's done for Ben Simmons in the NBA. I would, at least in me, he won't have a believer in me, and a lot of people will not give him that chance ever again, because this is probably now or never. You know, plus you can't be a fisherman for that long and then just come into the NBA. It ain't gonna work like that, I'm afraid, Sonny
That's
Jim.
what I'm saying. Who do you think you are, MJ?
Yeah, bruv.
Well, you're just gonna take a little break and then come back and protect, bro.
It will be on a minimum deal as well. So, like,
He's
the,
somewhere in
the,
the
there's
deep
a
depths of Salt Lake City, bro.
Hey, if he wants to go Utah, hey man, they could use a point guard over there now.
You ain't
Keontae
got an
George is
option.
hooping and that,
You
but
ain't got an option.
hey man,
You ain't got an option. You play wherever they're gonna let you play.
it'll be for the minimum as well, by the way, because
Facts.
hey man, there's nobody giving Ben Simmons more than that.
No chance.
Moving forwards. Since that time, before we wrap up episode 66 of Stateside Report UK, shall I play one more game?
Let's play one more game. Let's do
One
it.
more. Overreactions. We ain't done overreactions in a while, and a lot of has happened since we last played it. So you know the drill. I'm gonna give you some statements, and you tell me if I'm overreacting or not. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for the people?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And this one starts with, by the way, before I get into this, do you know the way the Hawks fans don't like you? The Raptors fans, for now, for some reason, don't like me. What did I do? I said, James Harden, you should look at him. And they said, what do you think
Nah.
this is? You don't think this is 2K? I said, sorry. Sorry. I
Nah,
didn't know
man. I
this
like
is how
what the
you felt
Raptors
about your
got going
team.
on, man.
Man, I'm telling you,
I like
I've
what the
made
Raptors
enemies.
going on.
So
Scotty Barnes as well. I
Ooh,
watched the clutch. I watched the clutch minutes against Golden State, bro. I think it was like 20 points and 25 rebounds.
yeah, 10 assists, that's
Locked
a
up,
dub.
bro. He's quality. I like Scotty Barnes.
I can't remember who it was now. I think it might have been someone on TikTok. Oh, I don't remember his name now. But he basically said, Brandon Ingram's getting all the shine because he hit the game winners. He's got Glorilla. He's got all the PR. But Scotty
Right.
Barnes has really been the one hooping.
Facts.
And
Facts.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Facts.
As we've been saying, a Raptors representative is due to come on because they need to let us know what the hell is going on in Toronto. Shout out to Drake. I hope he doesn't hate me like the rest of the Raptors fans do. But yeah, no, shout out to them, man. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Now, onto the people that hate you, the Hawks fans. The overreaction. Trey Young will end his prime years without winning a championship. Is this an overreaction?
It's not a reaction whatsoever. You know what I mean? The writing has been on the wall for Trey Young. Someone that's 6'1". I mean, he's turnover prone, can give you buckets, assists pretty well, but he's a turnover machine and he's a liability on defense. So that just does not spell good news at all in the playoffs. So yeah, Trey Young in his prime, I don't see him winning the championship. I'll be surprised if it happens. So I will say that it's not an overreaction.
I saw a bad clip, by the way. I think it was in the Timberwolves game that they played fairly recently, where he got brick wall screened, got knocked to the ground, and then he just kind of laid there for a bit. And the
Mm.
shot went up, they missed it. They got the offensive rebound, and Trey was still picking himself up the floor. And then it led to an open three. They're going back the other way, down 3 points. And I'm like, man, there's a nasty stat out there as well since he's come back that they've had in the same time frame that he's come back in all the games that he's played. He's had a losing record to the same amount of games to when he wasn't there, or whatever the case was.
They're
Essentially,
zero
the
and
worst team.
7.
Yes, essentially the worst team with Trey Young in the team at the minute, rather than when he was injured and they were actually playing very well. So,
Mm.
like you said, Ryan might be on the wall for Litreski, and I
Facts.
like him, but I think you can see when a man is really checked out. He doesn't think
He don't
that.
want to be there anymore.
Yeah, that Hawk situation, they tried. They brought pieces around him, but hey, it wasn't enough to make him happy. So if it was up to me, I'd be looking at different avenues.
Avenues.
Yes, for Trey Young because it's not working. I don't think it's not working. Next one, Conk will win Rookie of the Year. Is this another reaction?
It's not an overreaction, but it's becoming a little bit less likely because Cooper Flags increases play. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, start of the season, Cooper Flag started off very slow. Conk, to be fair, I think he's had a steady pace. I mean, he's played really well. You're seeing him not just be a 3-point shooter. You're seeing him play make. You're seeing him run an offense. I mean, he plays such a level of maturity. But then Cooper Flag, he's had career highs. He's had great performance against big teams that sticks out. That sticks out a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? His team's winning slightly more, and it's just his. I don't think it's an overreaction that can win Rookie of the Year, but I'll be surprised if it's not Cooper Flag the way Cooper's playing right now.
Well, you never know. After like the first 5 games of the season, people was ready to give it to VJ Edgecombe, and
Facts,
not
facts.
necessarily where has he been, but he hasn't maintained that elite
No.
level when the first few games of the season. There's a rookie in Toronto as well. I can't remember his name now. The one that was very unhappy on draft night. He's been very good. He's a very good defender.
Mm.
He's very very good. This rookie class is actually in general is just pretty good.
Solid.
Yeah,
You
in
know.
terms of years past, last year wasn't fantastic, wasn't great. But this year, yeah, rookies have been hooping. Can't lie, So let's see, Cockadoople. But Cooper Flag has been hooping. You are correct. A few more for you, Stateside Hump. Golden State missed the play-in. Plus, Draymond Green gets traded. Is this an overreaction?
I mean, the West is strong. For the sake of reacting, it's not an overreaction. There's a chance Golden State could miss the playoffs playing in general and trade Draymond Green after he's done with the ESPN shows and stuff on TV. He's gonna come back, gonna try and open his locker. It's the key's not working anymore. Do you know what I mean? I can see a world where that happens. That Golden State missed the playoffs, and Draymond they just cut ties with him.
And that would be the. Can you imagine? That's gonna hit somebody right in the feels. Like Draymond Green gets traded from Gold. I'll be like, wow,
That's
they
what I'm trying
really
to say.
did
And
it.
what team would even wants him though?
I think there's just teams that would want him, because in terms of the experience and the locker room leadership, on court leadership as well. I think there's teams that would want him. It's just that can you handle everything else that it comes with?
That's the question. It would just be weird seeing him on another team with a different jersey.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I've got one more for you. One more. Tell a lie. I've got three more for you, matey. Sorry, matey. You're gonna be here for a second.
Let's do it.
The Houston Rockets trade for a true point guard and go to at least the second round. Is this an overreaction?
I think it's not an overreaction. I think Houston can still get to the second round without a true point guard. But in the trade market, if there is a true point guard, I think they should try go for him. So I'd say it's not an overreaction. But with what they have right now, they 100% are good enough to win a playoff series, at least.
Couple more for you here, matey. Jaylen Brown becomes a top 3 MVP candidate by the end of the season.
Everyone loves a storyline. Do you know what I mean? I love a storyline. If he carries on playing the way he's playing, if he's still, equaling or surpassing these 30-point marks and records and stuff like that, he might be tugging on some heartstrings, as you're saying, and some people are gonna give him their vote. I mean, there's little noises about possibly him getting Lucas All NBA first team spot and this that and that. That's how it starts. Getting into February, March, April, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, can Jaylen Brown actually win MVP? Like Tatum has been out. The Celtics are finishing second in the East. Like, what we saying? You know what I mean? So it's definitely not an overreaction whatsoever.
He's in the right market as well, Boston. Their
That's
fans,
what I'm
they'll
saying.
ride for that story. You know,
Exactly.
let's see, because again, MVP implicates one of your guys, and potentially this next overreaction might implicate one of your guys as well.
Mm.
Luka Doncic is the face of the NBA today. Is that an overreaction?
Uh yes, an overreaction. It is, I think
Who
Lucas
is?
should be the face of the NBA.
Who
But
is?
for some reason, I don't think he is.
Who is? You can say it's LeBron if you want. I mean, that's the boring answer, but
Uh,
he's on his way out.
I mean, I say LeBron, but that's what I'm saying. I think he's on his way out. I probably say a Wemby, maybe Shea Jokic as a pair because they're always in like MVP talks. I feel like Luca's been a tad bit forgotten about a little bit, with this whole MVP talk with the level Shea and Jokic playing at Wemby as well. Do you know what I mean?
Not on the All Star ballot though.
That is true.
Yeah, he's leading all of these men that
That
are
is
in the top
true.
conference.
Face of the NBA, I think is a bit strong. I'll probably even put Ant in front of him in terms of face of the NBA before I put Luca. That's what I think anyway. So Luca being face of the NBA, overreaction.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's no right or wrong answer to any of these anyway. To be fair,
Of course.
however, as you know, the comment section never lie, and they're never wrong, unfortunately.
Well,
So we'll find out who the face of the NBA really is. Maybe it's. I remember one year Andrew Wiggins started in the All Star game. Maybe it's him. I don't know. Whatever he's doing in Miami.
dark times.
I'm
He's
telling
balling out
you.
apparently.
Oh, jeez. Fair enough. Come to the end of the Stateside Report UK, episode 66. If you've liked what you've heard, please like, share, comment, subscribe, rate, all that jazzy stuff. Me and Stateside Humph back again next year.
Same time next year.
Oh, Sunday.
Hey, have a happy
Yes,
new
yeah.
year,
Oh,
boys and
yes.
girls.
Absolutely. Stay safe. Be sensible. Don't do anything that Stateside Gab and Stateside Humph would not do.
Have a drink on me, alright? Not too many. Just a
Not
couple.
too many. Come on, we
Just
got
a
the
couple
new
to
year
start
on.
the new year off, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. But until then, until next year, until next week, take it easy, lads.
In a bit.